Onda stavi do onog a ti ćeš, hoćeš ti ono najaviti konferencije za iduću godinu, još onaj slajd. Dobro. Pozvali smo ovog Zirca. Zirca da dođe na rok. To ne je jedino djela. Pa dobro. Ako mogu, pitati. Ne mogu preko. Potrebno da imati za... ono što ne da. Ne čuje ga. Da je nešto krivo koje
Test, test. Test.
Evo ova dva inženjeri samo na svijetu. Isti djelo da se nekako malo makne dok ne je. Prema ovoga izmisli. Nastavite ili stavljače? To mi se jako dobro. Vidim da se ti bio barem 32. Jedan u Bedvorani, a jedan u Lade. Pa nije Bedvorani. Ne, Bedvorani nije sve. Bedvorani nismo činili. Mislim da nisam generirao možda 500 da, pa budući smo nekako se zbunili od situacije, to baš se nema. Ovo da sam vidio Peridosa, ono što sam napravio. Taj prvi dovoz. Taj prvi dovoz, njega sam registrirao i više ne a Slavić je došao nešto se oni zbunili, pa nema registracije, pa smo napravio novo i onda se naši napravili ovo, jer onda to ajde vidim da ja ja sad dobro, a to što da bi ne, on je jedan vrlo koji ali ovo je malo to je potrebno. Taj slajd, ovaj slajd je odmah.
Da vam dodaje.
Samo skoči. A ne, nisam to mislio, nego za tiče učinak nagrada. Da, to je on to bi, je 10. To sve da možete ljudi. Ako se mi odlučimo na ovu stranu, a okay, thank you very much. Yes, next year. Yes. Thank you. Se ti sei una cosa perché non lo male. Vai sempre a
Molim? Pa piše, ali ne znam da li ćete vidjeti. To je jednostavno.
Sjedi se za početak. Pa ups. Falling down hard, one of the back planks.
I still didn't see it. Yeah, let me send a message to, we will, be quite,
Tabii. Ja. Nog. Ja sam Dinamovac, pa se ona plava sta. Sam rekao pojavio je on.
Basically, I think we all finished. When you tell everybody to come up, you want them to talk now and the content. So I think it's not different.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Let's start this closing session. We are arrived at the end of this, I hope, interesting conference for all of you. Even if someone just before arriving here asked me if it's possible to postpone the deadline of the conference and having another day, but unfortunately the answer is not. So this is really the final session where you will receive also some useful information about how the activities will proceed after. Okay, it's off. So we have a very intensive day with from the welcome. We have been lucky with the weather on Sunday and on Tuesday in the social event because the forecasts were horrible last week. I hope also you enjoy all the session, the keynote, the panels. We try to do our best to invite not only high level, but also someone that could give some interesting and motivating speeches for you, both in the keynotes we have, both in the two panels we had that there were at 6:30 p.m. after long days, but we have seen that many of you also stayed until 8 p.m. for listening the panel. So it was appreciated for our side to receive positive feedbacks after all these initiatives we include here in this day. And of course, your presentation, all the parallel session we have with the chairs, with the involvement of any of you, that is the very added value and success of the conference, I think, from my point of view. So now I will give directly the floor to Professor Zvonimir Guzovic of University of Zagreb for showing some slide and information about the poster awards of this conference. Do you have them here?
Thank you. Dear ladies and gentlemen. Okay. The award committee had very demanding because without a large number of high quality of posters, the best had to be chosen. The committee are Dr. Petar Banov, Dr. Stanislav Madjarev, Professor Šir Kilkiš, Dr. Wang, and me, Zvonimir Guzovic. The best of the best of the paper or posters are top posters. The first is Daniel Paukovic. The name, the title of the poster is Mud Pump Electrical Load Balancing Control System Design and Field Testing on a Deep Drilling Rig. Professor Paukovic, fortunately, is not here. Okay. The second is Rebecca. Yes, Rebecca Jakob Korou. It is correct. The latest is very small. The poster, the title of the poster is Energy Narratives in Europe, exploring the link between online news and citizen behavior. Rebecca is here. Oh. The third is the poster with the title Artificial Neural Network Optimization for Renewable Energy System, a comparative analysis of the COGI and the GVO for prediction in syngas gasifier. The presenter was Carlos Vargas Salgado. Okay. The best posters awards is over.
Thank you. Thank you, and congratulations to all the winners of the poster session. We continue with some numbers, some recap of the conference, the organizers that helped us. We would like to thank every university or companies that helped us to carry out and to organize, to plan this so impregnative conference, as well as the International Scientific Committee that are the scientific pillars of all the procedures that have been carried out before and after the conference, and these are the professors. I think most of you are already, most of them are already known, and the level is high thanks to the work done by Neven every year for the organization of SDEWES conference. I would like to thank you very much, all the members of the local organizing committee that helped us so much in these days from Sunday. We had also some problems with some of them that was blocked at the airport without visa or with any kind of problems, but I hope we solved. They worked very hard during this day, very motivated. So I would like to come here, all the members, to have a photo group together, thanking all of them. So Lorenzo Villani, Daniele Bricca, all of them that are still here. Gabriele Magni, Pier Giorgio Palamara, Parbodes Malion, Faran Ioio, Endesho Bekele, Giuseppe Russo, Simona Semeraro, Michela Conti, Domiziana Vespasiano, Roberta Caponi e Flavia Vespasiano. Grazie a tutti. Dove volete? Qua dietro, forse dietro. Yeah, of course. I forgot to mention also Anna Maria, Andrea, all the stuff that, sorry for that. I had the list of the stuff. These are to show you how many scientists, researchers, academics are in the scientific advisory board that they work so much. We receive a huge number of papers, a huge number of abstracts that has to be reviewed with the help of all of them. So thank you again of all the one of the scientific advisory board that collaborated on this conference. And the last slide before giving the floor to Neven is some recap of the number to give you an idea of the amount of paper we received. We had 570 on-site participants and 120 online, 62 countries, as you can see in the map. Of course, most of them are from Europe, but 62 is a very challenging number to reach in a scientific conference. 505 papers presented on site in this 65 regular and 12 special session. Then we have these 4 plenary lectures I just mentioned it, 91 posters, 722 papers presented online in 54 regular and 12 special session, 11 presentation not uploaded, 12 presentation not carried out on site, so small percentage compared with the previous number, and 9 posters not presented. So we have seen an important motivation and a positive feedback from all of you. Now I think I give the floor to Neven for continuing with the next step. That works.
Okay, so now the question is, what next? And I know you wait for that because publishing your papers in journals, it's a very important part of your SDEWES participation. We have quite a few partner journals. This is a full list. Those that are bold are already negotiated for this year. Those that are not bold are in the process of negotiations, and the grade ones will not be this year special issues. So let me explain you how this process, but before I do that, I would like to mention also journals which have been started by SDEWES Center. Our Journal of Sustainable Development of Energy, Water, and Environment Systems have impact factor now for 2 years, 2.1, and it's Q3 journal. So this could be a venue to publish independently of the conference. But also there will be a special issue in JSDEWES with the conference. Then we have started another journal, Journal of Sustainable Development Indicators, and Professor Goran Krajacic is editor-in-chief. And the first issue is planned for March 25, and there will be a special issue from this conference also included. And then we have started another Journal of Sustainable Development of Natural Resources Management. And we have here one of the 2 editors-in-chief, Shueshao Wang, please, yes, and the other one is Petar Varbanov, but he has left. And this one will also hopefully start very soon. So we are starting to increase our publishing potential. But let me explain the process, how this process will function. So once online conference ends, and we will let it go on for at least 1 week. But if you're not going to be answering questions, then we will probably have to delay it a little bit further, because it's absolutely necessary to get all the questions answered. So next week, when you're back to your working place, please check presentations which are of your interest. ask questions if you have, and then we will give some time authors to answer. But you also as authors, please promptly answer those questions as soon as possible. This is the same thing answering to the questions online as if you are answering questions on site. Somebody asks you something, you don't answer. It doesn't work like that. You have to answer the question, otherwise you failed the presentation and we have to cancel your paper. So as soon as we finish with this process, and hopefully that will be a week after the conference, we will send you an email asking you to rank all the journals that we have negotiated special issues with. So what that means? That means that you should carefully think where your paper fits in the best according to the scope. Because if it's out of scope in one journal, even if it gets invited, it will get rejected. So it's a loss of time for you, for the journal, for guest editors, for everyone. So think carefully where your paper is actually fitting the best. And then try to play game theory. This is quite important when you do those decisions, because other people will also do the selection. And for Q1 journals, we usually get 2 to 3 times more papers than we have a quota. When we negotiate a special issue in a journal, we get a quota of papers that can be published, like 20, 30 or something like that. But we have, we get a huge interest from our authors ranking one Q1 journal as a first choice, maybe 3 times more than we have place. So what happens if guest editors don't select you for the journal that you selected as the first choice? Then after a week, we let guest editors select from the papers who have selected ranked their journal as a first. Then we open the rank 2 journals, but all the Q1 papers, Q1 journals are already full, most probably. Can happen that they're not, because there were not enough papers of the quality and the scope that guest editor wants, but most probably Q1 is already full. So if you rank another Q1 journal as a second, there is a relatively small chance that you will get selected. So you should rank as rank 2 a journal that is maybe Q2. If you don't want to publish in Q2, then don't rank. But the difference between Q1 and Q2 is not huge. So consider that. So try to rank papers in a way that you actually get invitations. What if you don't get invitation at all because you selected too small number of journals, or you only selected Q1 journals? Well, we will ask you after some time, are you accepting invitations from other journals or not? If you say not, we will not bother you anymore. If you say yes, then we will open your paper for selection to guest editors from other journals also. You can also say you don't want to publish in a gold open access, so you don't want to pay for publishing. That's possible. Consider that there are journals who have hybrid access. So it's if it's closed access, you don't pay. If you choose open access, you can pay the publishing fee. This is not included in the conference fee. This is additional. If you choose green open access, it means it's free of charge to publish and it's open access. If it's gold open access, that means it's open access, but you have to pay the fee. We have negotiated discounts on open access journals, some of them, not all of them. So you will get information about which type of journal you are ranking. So you can say, I don't want to pay anything more because we don't have funding for that. And then you will not be invited by open access journals. But after your paper was not, if your paper was not selected, we will ask you again, do you want to extend your selection? So once you get selected and we decide to send invitation letters, then you have to accept or decline this invitation. Please do that promptly, because if you're keeping it pending and you actually are not sure, then you're taking place from other authors. Because when you decline, we invite somebody else to that place. So do quick accept or decline. We don't get angry if you decline. It's perfectly okay to decline. We will also allow you later on to say, I don't want to get any more invitations. That will also be possible, just in case you are not happy anymore with the invitations. But please accept quickly or decline quickly, because this is the way how you help other authors. Is there any questions on this procedure, which is quite complicated, but works quite well for us? Yes, please.
Hi, thank you for the explanation. Two questions. If we decline the one that you just mentioned, we will get another invitation and another until we finally decline, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if we decline, there is more invitations.
Yes.
Another question is, some universities, they have a contract with Elsevier and their open access fees will be waived.
Yes.
Does that work in this situation?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you have to check that status for each journal. If your university has a fee waiver for that journal, that it means for your journal, for your paper, it will be free.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's already paid by the university.
Yeah. Thanks.
So most of European universities, I think they have such fee waivers with certain publishers, but you have to check it yourself. Okay. Any more questions on this procedure? If not, let me then tell you some very important things. You know, it's such a pity that we lose some papers which get submitted because authors didn't really read the invitation letter. Also, it's very important when you submit to follow the procedure. There is some code or some something you have to do to fit into a special issue. Unless you do it, you will just go to general papers and be treated as general papers. So your chances of passing pre-screening is maybe 10 times lower. Because, you know, process of publishing now, it's a bit complicated. All the editors get a lot of papers and they see, okay, this paper doesn't look very good, they just reject it. And if you submit it under special issue, then in most journals, it is the guest editors who do pre-screening. So if you did all other conditions, you pass the pre-screening. There are some journals in which they still go, all papers go to pre-screening with another editor, and then we cannot we cannot help with small errors you did in trying to rewrite your paper for the particular journal. Every single journal has its style. So if you're submitting to one journal or another journal, you have to rewrite your paper. It doesn't mean that you have to change your results. It means that you have to restyle your paper. You have to read the invitation letter. You have to read the guidelines. Around 30% of authors completely ignore guidelines and then get rejected. And it's a pity if it's a Q1, you know, you don't get such a good opportunity so often. So critical thing is how you write introduction. Introduction has to be written in style with the journal. And introduction, you have to prove that this is part of the scope of the journal. So you have to link your literature review with the material already published in that journal. If you don't do that, then you didn't prove that it is in the scope. Okay. Also, special issues are running on very short and very tight deadlines. So please don't ask for extensions because most probably, apart from maybe a few days, you will not receive one. We have to deliver results. So we just close. But then you have taken a slot from another author. So you should have your paper ready from the point of view of contribution, methods, and results by the time we send you invitation. And then when you get the invitation, you have 1 week, 2 weeks to do the introduction and to make it fit better in the particular journal. So do it quickly. Don't wait for the deadline. Okay, is there any more questions on the papers? How to adapt them to special issues? No. Okay. So conference proceedings are only available to participants. So final version will be available to participants for download 1 week after the online conference ends. And very important question, if you upload your conference paper to a repository, then it cannot be published anymore in the journal. Because repository and journal will consider that this is published. But, you know, this conference is not really publishing papers. We are just providing paper in progress, work in progress material for other participants so they can see it, they can discuss it. We prefer to publish papers in journals. But if you say that you published it in a conference, editor will just say this paper was published. It's too difficult to explain later on that it is not true. So don't do that. I know you have to do it to put it in a repository, but you can put a preprint in the repository without any mention of the conference. But if you put that this paper was published at the conference, then Authenticate will find it and it will not be publishable in a journal. So if you really have to do it, then wait until you have published the paper in the journal, and then, of course, you can do whatever you want. Is this clear? This is quite important. You know, we don't take the copyright, but if you say it's published, then sorry. Okay, so a few words on this conference series. You can see we organized quite a few of them. We started 2002 in Dubrovnik, and then organize it mostly every year. Since then, the main one, we also have several more conference series. we have Southeast European Conference Series. So if this main one is too expensive for you, Southeast European is usually much cheaper. Well, we are considering some very nice locations for 26. Then we have a Latin American Conference Series, and then we have Asia Pacific Conference Series. And we decided to start with new conference series, African Conference Series. There was in Africa. And the first location will be in Ujda or Saidia. Saidia is a very nice Mediterranean resort town in North Morocco. And it will be in May 2025. The main boss will be Professor Goran Krajacic. So if you have any questions about this conference, ask him. But me, I'm putting a challenge. Whoever comes to the conference with electric car, all the way, battery electric car, so no hybrid, all the way from his university to there, I'll buy him a dinner. I'll come with Tesla. So if anybody accepts the challenge, then we will do a motorcade of electric cars in Ujda. That will be a big thing, I think. They don't have that many electric cars, but there are chargers all the way to Ujda, so it's no problem to come there with electric car. And then the main conference will be held in October in Dubrovnik. The call is already open for this one. For Africa, not yet. It will be open hopefully beginning of October. But for Dubrovnik, the call is open. So once you come back home, if you like this conference, just send an abstract for Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik is a very nice place. If you haven't been to, you have to do that. Game of Thrones was filmed there, so you want to see all these locations. Yes, hope to see you there. And I pass the microphone back to Davide.
Thank you. Only to thank you again, everything. And we will meet for sure in Dubrovnik, but I think sooner with most of you. Thank you again. Have a nice weekend and then keep some rest for the ones that work so much during this day. Thank you again. Bye.
Thank you.
See you, Vero. I think I have all of them. I have to check downstairs. I have to count them, but I went to the room and took. No, I already did. Yeah, I already did. So you don't have to.
Did they consider the projector at the back?
I know I didn't take that because I don't know how.
I'm with you.
You come tonight or you come for dinner?
A ova prva 2 dana, hodanje i onda radimo
Dobro, prva 2 dana je bilo jako vruće, nije bilo lako. To je. See you in the brownie.
If they book months in advance, it will be 1,500 per year.
Abnormalno, abnormalno. I još tu na faksu. Kada si u hotelu, onda je to lakše. Ali ovdje na faksu, ljudi je baš kulac.
ono baš je relativno ajde estetskama je bilo onako.
Imali smo, pa i danas smo imali sekcije po 40 ljudi, 30-40 ljudi.
Bilo je po 20, ali onda kad bi što umarno, onda...
Imali smo 12 sekcija paralelno. I ono, uglavnom prosjek je bio 20, to je rad 8. No, no, for me, it's not. The question is, what is the biggest such things cannot happen. We can see that this person takes the right thing, what is